I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
The
More.
You
No.
Podcast.
Today I want to talk about compassionate communication, as discussed in Judith Orloff's book Emotional Freedom. Compassionate communication is the key to addressing anger, and compassionate communication can be defined as an information exchange for the greater good that involves both expressing yourself and empathetically listening to another. This provides the possibility of transformational bonding for both people, as well as the ability to grow deeper as a result of the communication. No matter who you are, you're going to go through times where you need to use compassionate communication. And if you're unable to be compassionate with your communication, you risk having fallouts in your relationships, going through terrible fights, and overall being ineffective with your communication, as well as getting your point across. If you're looking to make a tremendous impact in the world and craft a life of significance, you absolutely have to be able to communicate compassionately. And I now want to go through 7 rules for compassionate communication that Judith shares in her book. By using these 7 rules, you can transition angry conversation into compassionate communication. And I'm now going to go through the rules. Rule number 1 is to calmly express your feelings. Rule number 2 is to be specific about why you're angry, and focus solely on that. After that, rule number 3 is to request a small, doable change that could meet your need, and clarify how it will benefit your relationship. Next, rule 4 is to listen non-defensively to another's position, and don't interrupt. From there, rule number 5 is to empathize with the person's feelings. You should take some quiet moments to intuitively sense where the person's heart is hurting or closed. By doing so, compassion will come more easily. Rule number 6 is to then work out a compromise or resolution. Don't stay attached to being right. And finally, rule number 7 is that if a person is unwilling to change, you can either accept the situation as it is and try to emotionally detach from it, or limit contact. There's times in life where you'll be communicating with people and it will bother you, and where you'll face disagreements with others, as well as communicate with others who are angry. And with this being said, you must be able to understand how to communicate compassionately. Communicating compassionately is always speaking to the best in people, and it's a beautiful exchange where a meeting of hearts overrides malice. By doing so, you'll have better control over your emotions and what you say as you communicate with others, as well as be able to get to others through compassion, and both of these will assist tremendously in crafting a life of significance.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
The
More.
You
No.
Podcast.